a podcast on the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.
Hey guys, and welcome back to LootQuest. I am Shampoo, and welcome to episode 5. This one's going to be a great episode, and as always, joined with me are the awesome player characters. We'll go around the horn real quick and do a quick introduction. First off is Caleb from Netflix and Swill, playing 38 Double D. What's up, Caleb?
It's me, Calebo.
I never get tired of your, 1 to 3 word responses whenever I talk to you. There was one that kind of snuck in the back half of last week's episode where you just said, okay, and you got a very rousing, God damn it, Caleb.
I do it on purpose. I fucking love it.
Do you do it on purpose, or is that just who you are as a person?
No, I'm like a golden retriever. I just get distracted and then sort of just...
And moving on, also joined with me today is Vizzisk, a.k.a. Dave from the Super Movie Bros podcast. What's going on, Dave?
It's your favorite gargantuan goose back.
Gargantuan goose?
Some of our species may have evolved along that line, yeah.
God damn it.
Sure. That tracks. I've heard that some dinosaurs had feathers. Does Vizzisk have any feathers?
And that's when we slash at you here. And here, the point is, you are alive when we start to eat you.
Yeah, okay.
The point is, Dave's a lizard, and he wants you guys to know. And last up is John from the Now in Technicolor podcast, also your favorite Irish spatial redneck. John.
Scottish.
God damn
Every
it.
time.
For the love of Christ, man, can you not just seem to distinguish the difference between an Irish and a Scottishman? I mean, it's not that hard.
To be fair, coming out of your mouth, it's not exactly clear.
But to be honest with you, you might as well just get a slap.
I was going to say, you're going to start doling out slaps.
Slaps to everyone.
It's been 5 weeks, and I still don't know.
This is off to a weird start. Why don't you paint us a word picture, buddy?
Yeah, this is strange. Last time on the LootQuest podcast, our heroes battled an onslaught of Jawas as they fought their way through the Sandcrawler. 38 Double D demonstrated her expert planning as she traveled down the ventilation shaft and ended up taking out a small army of Jawas using a well-placed thermal detonator as Hamrick and Vizzisk fought their way through an equally formidable group of hooded warriors as Vizzisk tried to hide in plain sight before using his very intimidating claws, and Hamrick displayed the jazziest of jazz hands as he electric boogalooed the entire room. They managed to escape with the droids and left our listeners waiting in suspense as they traveled their way through the Dune Sea back to deliver the droids to their boss.
Just to confirm, we did get the droids that we were looking for, right?
They were the droids you were looking for. That's correct.
And we did make sure to drop all the evidence.
Yes.
What's this we shit I did?
The evidence was planted. The droids were accounted for. You did not identify the droids that you were looking for, though, because you rolled a 1 on your appraise check that there was not supposed to be at roll 4.
I mean, it's fine.
But I did.
Okay, so you guys are on your way back through the Dune Sea. You managed to learn your lesson from the first time and have narrowly avoided any sort of traps or ambushes that may have been set up on the way back. So you're traveling back to your boss's headquarters, knowing that he'll be quite pleased with the work that you've managed to do.
That's what I say. Always leave him satisfied.
Well, it's the only way to do the job.
So you guys are on your way back through the Dune Sea, going across a pretty well-traveled route, making sure that there aren't any Tusken Raiders or anything. Vizzisk and Hamrick are kind of keeping their eyes peeled, and 38 Double D is lollygagging in the back of the speeder, making sure all of the droids are in working order.
Yeah, swapping out parts, looking for upgrades for myself, because I'm cheap.
So you're traveling back, and you know that you need to contact Avun Keso to let him know that you've succeeded in the mission.
We should probably call the crime boss and let him know we've planted the evidence and gathered the droids.
I'll just ring him up on the booty call device that I have here.
You ring up Avun Keso on your comlink. He answers.
Akushan Yuja, do you bring news of the job?
And Shuta, you Karkin Slimo, you sent us into a fucking trap.
What trap? Bokora Palakwi, stupid lizard! You merely had to kill some Ixta Jawas and take some droids.
They tried to overrun us.
They were Jawas. Kunta Chikan. If you could be overrun by Jawas, then you were not fit for the job. But no matter, the circumstances of the job are of no consequence to me. Did you retrieve the droids?
The job's been done.
And what of the Jawas?
All but 2 are dead.
Why the fuck am I letting you guys do the talking? You're terrible at diplomacy.
We seemed to make it work last time.
Why don't you tell them what happened, Rusty Trombone?
The comlink's in my fucking head. I think I'll do the talking from now on. All mission objectives cleared. We should be arriving within a few hours.
Excellent! I will have you bring the droids to me so the sale to Mito can be completed. Your payment has been transferred to each of your accounts. Once the drop has been completed, I have another job for you.
And that is?
I suspect that you will accept regardless, but it pays 5,000 credits each. A Salustan by the name Sev has encroached on my territory. He has opened a casino disguised as a cantina in Moshuta.
Smash heads, steal the money, stop the operation. Got it.
Complete the job in any way you see fit. This is my city. Send him and anyone else foolish enough to test my patience a lesson.
I hear you on that. I don't like I don't like other girls moving in and taking my johns. So that's a industry term. You see, it's a guy who, well, you know.
Enough. Go to the cantina. You will stop the casino. You will report back to me. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Good. Do not fail me, droid. It will be the last mistake you ever make.
After the call from Avun Keso, you now know what your new mission is. Obviously, you're going to have to go and drop off the droids that you're currently carrying, but you will have some time in between that and the new mission to get anything that you may need.
I'm telling you, Blue Waffle's going to get it in the end.
So that's it? The Leku-headed lard ass is going to tell us what to do? Do we work for him now? I thought we had a different mission.
We've been working for him the whole time. That's kind of the point here.
We were supposed to be taking out the gang. Now we're going to a bar to take down a gambling ring? I'm confused.
If we do this well, I think we'll have more missions than we know what to do with.
More side quests. Just what I wanted.
Alright, so we drop the droids off, and we're gonna swing by my little flat, I guess. It's sort of like on a tiny alley that's off a side street that's like in a nearly abandoned neighborhood on the wrong side of town, like the seediest of seedy places, and like, you know, some place that nobody would ever think to look, really.
So like the first apartment that you get in any Grand Theft Auto game.
Yeah, essentially that. You know, it's modestly appointed, but it's you know, I've thrown some of my own personal flair into it. And there's neon lights, like shit that would be hanging up in a cantina.
Bar signs.
Yeah, something like stuff that was obviously stolen and just kind of cobbled together. But I'm grabbing my, I have like a long, basically like a duster style coat that I'm throwing on, but it's like, it's like a fancy like furry coat, like a long flowing coat, and like some feather boas and like my fanciest pilfer jewelry and stuff. Trying to dress myself up like I'm somebody.
You're trying to class yourself up, basically.
Yeah, like I look like I belong at the high rolling hologram chess table.
Are you trying to do any sort of disguise or anything, or
Attempt to disguise myself just on the chance that anybody who knows me would recognize me there, but
I mean, if you want to look like a human, roll a disguise check. If you want to just like dress up, that's not really a disguise.
how about a 33 on a disguise check?
Okay, so that is a nat 20 disguise check. You look like whatever you want to look like. You did a full pretty woman, like you made a big mistake montage, and you look fabulous.
I feel like we have sort of a scene where, like I step over to the vanity mirror and like it's just showing Hamrick and Vizzisk's faces as I'm getting myself all put together.
So you disappear behind one of those 3-paneled screens, and Hamrick and Vizzisk see just like hair and clothes and stuff flying, and there's all sorts of weird torque wrench sounds going on as you quite literally put on your face so you no longer look like a droid, because you know that your kind is generally not accepted in these types of establishments. So you come out and you just look like a whole new person.
I look like Scarlett Johansson. I walk out and I'm like, I'm ready for my close-up, boys.
All dressed up and knowing the blow.
Goddamn, Double D. Really gets the unit moving.
Now let's get the hell out of here. I'm not double-jointed Double D. I could barely stand in this tiny apartment.
I mean, my head's on the fucking ceiling already. I don't see how you're sitting here hunched over. We should probably get out of here.
I mean, there's chairs, guys. You could just... You know what? Never mind. Let's just go.
Okay, so you guys take off from 38 Double D's apartment, freshly paid, and she's freshly disguised. What are you trying to do?
What's the plan, Double D? Karkin Stupa.
Just follow my lead, guys. You're my bodyguards.
All right. One of these plans has got to work out sometime.
Looking tough is just about the only thing I'm pretty good at.
I can throw my hair in the wind if we need be.
Put your jizz hands away. No need for that.
As you guys now know from your mission briefing that you received from Avun Keso, the target that you're looking for is a Solostan named Sev, who runs this particular cantina gambling den. He's most likely to be found in the private high-stakes gambling area of this establishment. The way this cantina is set up is it's just like a normal cantina, but there is...
It's like a hidden speakeasy underneath.
Exactly. There's guards posted throughout the establishment, but for the most part, it's like a normal cantina. There's random drunk patrons sort of scattered throughout the establishment. There's music playing. There's a band. There's a bartender and drinks and all sorts of stuff.
So we're looking for a pint-sized pecker.
So I'll look up to... Is there somebody who would be... sort of like the head of the guard, like somebody that the other guards go up and continually report to, like throughout the day? Or
do a spot check and a gather information check.
Okay, we're rolling dice. So my spot check was a 31 and my gather information is an 18.
Okay, so it's pretty clear to you that sort of the central hub of everything that's going on here is the bartender.
What are your scanners telling you, Double D?
I believe his scanners are saying that it looks like a lemon party in here and he really needs to swagger things up.
Yeah, so I kind of sashay my ass over to the bartender and I flash my credit chit at him and I just say, hey, I'm looking for some fun, maybe spend a little money, yeah?
What sort of fun are you looking for?
The kind that you don't really ask and I don't really tell in mixed company kind.
The bartender just sort of flashes you a knowing look, and a very wry smile sort of dawns on his face as he realizes what you're talking about. And he says, I think I know what you're looking for. Is it just you, or are these two coming with you?
Well, they're sort of my escort, you see. I'm just a little old lady. You wouldn't want me to, be left all on my own in a dangerous situation now, would you?
The bartender gets sort of a devious look on his face, and I'm going to do an intimidate check. I think you should just come by yourself. And he looks very menacing. Do a will save. And you completely resist his menacing charm, and you sort of give it right back to him.
I don't think you understand. This is my entourage. Do you think Max Rebo would, go into some shady back room without his crew? I don't think so, Buster.
Okay, my apologies, madam. My apologies. Right this way. And he leads you into, very, very covertly, into a side room around the corner that's filled with various gaming tables with dice games and card games and all sorts of different gambling mechanisms.
I'm going to slip, what I think, 100 credits in his pocket and just kind of pat it and say, thank you, I think this will serve quite nicely.
He smiles very happily and says, again, my apologies. Come back anytime. And you ask for Georgie. Yeah, so you guys are now in this, what appears to be private gambling room. It's filled with Dejaric tables and dice games and other various games of chance and gambling. There's also a secondary bar with a protocol droid manning behind it that's furiously making drinks. But there's all sorts of different species. You see some Rhodians, you see some Twi'leks, you see some Duros, all sorts of various. There's a Zabrak over in the corner. And they're all sort of gambling and not really paying any attention to you. And then in the far south end of the room, you also see a door that has a very intimidating-looking Gamorrean standing in front of it.
Do you guys look over there? They got pod races. I haven't been on a pod race in years.
I think I'm going to go over here and investigate this bar.
Guys, in full confidence, before we start scouring this place for this pint-sized pecker that we're looking for, I have a gambling problem.
Well, it seems like the perfect place to work it out. I'll take a scotch.
No, you don't get it. If I don't give you all these credits, I'm going to lose them all. Or double them. I don't know which one. What do you guys want me to do? You want me to start gambling? You want me to give you the money? You want me not to gamble? What do you want me to do here?
Give me half of your money. You take the other half. And if you lose, at least then you still got half your money.
Calm down, big boy. You're going to get all the money. You're just my security detail this time.
Again, I'll take that scotch.
I don't think I can be here any longer without playing a game. Somebody please let me play one roll of sabacc.
I told you, give me half your money, and then you take the other half, and if you lose half that money, at least you still have at least a quarter of your money. Give me a scotch.
You said half. What? Is that a swoop bike? Quick, someone give me a coin. I want to try to win this swoop bike.
Here's a coin.
Vizzisk goes running off excitedly towards Fates Unknown. The protocol droid looks at Hamrick very confusedly and says, I am not familiar with that beverage.
I'd like a durian dubackery. How hard is that to understand?
Right away. And you, good sir?
Just give me the strongest damn thing you've got on tap.
Well, that would be our Idle Will whiskey.
Well, give me that.
Right away. The protocol droid turns around and very quickly starts mixing various beverages, and in just a very short while comes back with a drink that looks to be approximately the same size as a 5-gallon bucket, but in a very fancy glass, and slides it across the counter towards 38 Double D, and hands Hamrick a very small, thimble-size shot of what appears to be a dark brown liquor, and says, now be careful with that.
I take the whole shot, and then I ask for another.
The protocol droid looks at you very cautiously and says, sir, are you sure that you would like another?
Hell yeah, I want another. You think you can get me drunk with that tiny little thimble of a fucking drink?
Now, Hamrick, remember, you have to watch my ass in here. Shit goes pear-shaped.
Well, Right now is the best time to look at it.
The protocol droid turns around and slides another thimble-size amount of very dark brown liquid towards Hamrick, and you can sort of see like steam rising out of it.
Appreciate it. Now go ahead and make me another one.
I didn't win the swoop bike.
So, Hamrick, you slam down that second thimble of alcohol. I need you to do a fortitude save for me.
17.
Fuck yeah, Hamrick. And you just glare at the protocol droid as you say,
Give me another.
very well, sir. And the protocol droid turns around and fetches you another very quickly and slides it across the table.
Thank
Over
you.
here. I'm the one that ordered the artesian nerf herder. Over here.
All right, Double D. Let's get on with
Big.
this.
Don't you worry.
If you're done getting shit-faced there,
You think I'm fucking shit-faced? It would take about 10 of these to get to me.
all I know is I need you, Frosty. Let's go.
In
Let's
the background,
roll.
you can hear Vizzisk let out a very disappointed groan.
It happened again. I lost it all. 100 credits left.
In all honesty, I hope that lizard doesn't lose all his money, but I have a feeling he's going to.
As I'm heading towards the high-stakes room, I'm just gonna kind of shout back, "Hey, Vizzisk, don't hit on a soft 16." And then I head over towards that burly Gamorrean.
Thanks for the advice, Double D, but it's a little late.
As you approach the Gamorrean, all you hear is
All right, Bacon Bits, how much to get into the high stakes?
more pig sounds, and then he holds up both of his hands and gestures them to you a few times and like flashes his fingers, indicating what you think is probably 500 credits.
Is that's just the buy-in, or like I have to fucking pay him to get through the door, or what?
No idea. You just know that he just flashed you what you think is 500 credits in response to your question.
All right, I hold up 500 credits.
As you do so, you notice a camera sort of in the upper right-hand corner of the doorway sort of like swivel quickly and zoom in on you, and you hear a voice come over the intercom.
That is quite enough money. You are more than welcome into the high-stakes room. Come in.
All right, I'll drag my fucking bucket of liquor in, I guess.
As we walk through the door, I'm gonna slam that last drink I got, and I'm literally gonna stick the fucking thimble in the hand of that fucking pig.
Fortitude save, Hamrick.
15.
You hear in the background Vizzisk go,
Yes, jackpot, baby. I just made my money back. Time to keep rolling the dice.
very excitedly.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Well, look at that lizard still holding on. I'll be damned.
Hamrick, you take that final shot of whiskey, and as soon as you knock it back, you start to feel immediately woozy and sort of regret your decision to try your luck. And you go to place the thimble in the Gamorrean's hand, and you actually place it on the tip of one of his tusks instead.
Even better.
And he glares at you, and you hear a very fierce as he begins tightening his grip on his battle axe.
Oh, calm down, Miss Piggy. It's actually a pretty good... oh, damn it.
And you continue to walk through the doorway into the high stakes room.
Double D. Maybe I shouldn't have taken that last one, but it'll be fine.
Just fly casual.
Like a fly on the wall, baby.
Don't call me baby.
Who may you be? A protocol droid next to the door says.
My name is Faria Is.
Do a bluff check.
38.
Yeah, no one in the room has even a remote doubt in their minds that you're not Faria Is, what appears to be clearly a human female. Welcome to the high stakes room, Faria Is. This hand has not ended yet. You may join in on the next one.
What are we playing? A little Mos Eisley Hold'em, or?
We are playing pazaak.
Yeah, just steal me in when a hand comes up.
Okay, please take a seat.
All right, and I do. Hamrick, just stand behind me here.
What are you doing with that gallon-sized drink you have with you?
I just kind of slowly drag it across the floor. It's making a lot of noise, but it's sort of charming in a weird way, and I just kind of plop it down next to me.
Damn it. One more hand. I got this.
In the distance, you hear Vizzisk slowly lamenting his losing streak. Just to be clear, you're still drinking that.
I'm taking little sips. I'm not... Because, like, alcohol doesn't do anything to me, and, like, I just kind of have it for appearances, I guess.
Sure. There is a very well-dressed male sitting directly to your left who notices the drink and says, a durian dubackery, very fine choice, one of my favorites.
Like, what's his demeanor and species and all that?
He is a Miraluka, which is a humanoid species that looks exactly like a human, but they don't have eyes.
Okay.
He has sort of a bandage wrapped around his head, but you're pretty well traveled, and you know that it's a very common sort of disguise technique of Miraluka because they're not readily accepted amongst humans.
Yeah, if you can dig yourself up a crazy straw, you can share it with me.
Oh, no. My drinking days are long in my past. I need to keep my senses sharp, if you know what I mean.
You wouldn't be predicting the outcomes of hands, would you?
No, I would never do such a thing.
Of course not. How silly of me.
All right, so just in case, after she makes that comment, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can detect to see if this guy is actually using the Force.
It is painfully obvious to you that this guy is using the Force. There's an aura around him that, like nothing you have ever seen before. Perhaps even stronger than your own.
Double D. This guy's clearly lying.
I already know that.
One coin became so many. I just put one coin in. I pulled the lever and it's all coming out. Wahoo.
Well, let's get started, shall we?
The first hand is dealt out.
Yeah, it's 29 for gather information.
Yeah, so you basically sit out the first hand. You, like, fold as soon as you get a chance, and you just sort of watch how the game works. And
and I'm kind of getting a read on the other players, too, based on that.
Yeah, so what you've noticed is there's one player in the opposite corner who is a human and looks very nervous. He's a male with very, like, splotchy hairdo, looks to be balding, and he's sweating profusely and looks very nervous.
Hey, Hamrick, that's whose money I'm gonna take first.
He's very nervous, and he's sort of sweating and seems to be very anxious over each pattern. There's a total of 4 players at the table, another of which is a very cool, confident-looking Sulistan who has perhaps the finest hat that a Sulistan could possibly wear, and he does not appear to be even remotely reacting at the results of any hand, positive or negative. There's, of course, the Miraluka, who you can't really get a read off of. He's just kind of sitting there. He doesn't seem to look happy or sad.
I'm going to kill that guy and take his hat.
And the last person at the table is a Quarren, who looks like a squid monster, and you've never seen a Quarren before, so you can't really get a read on his emotions because he's a squid monster.
Something at this table seems fishy.
Okay, so you do a quick study of the room, and that's sort of the feeling that you get from gathering the information.
You obsolete oaf. Oh, I just won again. These droid dealers are awful.
The first hand of the pazaak is completed, and you've gotten your general read of the table. Hamrick is getting increasingly more intoxicated just from the looks of him. All of the color has drained out of his face, and he's sort of struggling to stand behind you.
Next hand coming up.
Yeah, it's the next hand.
All right. How's my probability looking?
You feel like you have a pretty good read. You're feeling very confident, and you think you have a pretty good handle on the game. You're going to have to do a gamble check to actually gamble with it.
That's only going to be an 8.
You don't feel very good. You see the opening cards, and you just immediately are like, no, I don't think this one, and you just sort of cash out.
That's the thing. I kind of want to play it safe until there's going to be one that's like really in my favor.
Sure. So do another gather information.
So Double D, I think I'm gonna find a fucking
29.
chair before I piss myself.
As you're trying to study the cards, you hear Hamrick sort of express himself of how he's not feeling very well.
Hamrick, just go throw up.
Just a good piss ought to knock this one out.
Man, fuck you, Hamrick, you fucking dumb, stupid idiot.
So Hamrick disappears, like quickly goes to exit the room and disappears out of your sight.
And then I'm alone.
Yeah, and then you're alone. So Hamrick, you're going to piss. So 38 Double D on this hand, you get an even better read on the rest of your players, and you know for sure that the balding human is definitely not playing an act. This guy clearly owes money to someone that he cannot possibly afford.
Okay.
The Sulliston continues to look like none of the outcomes of this game mean anything to him. The Corn looks like a squid, and you have no idea what that means. And the Miro Luca looks a little nervous, but at the same time calm,
Okay.
as in directly across from
baby,
you.
I bet 80% of what I got, and I doubled that. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm buying a swoop bike. It's going to get real swoopy up in here. Y'all feel me? High five. High five. I only got 3 hands. I only got 3 fingers. High five. High 3. High 3. Go low. Oh, my God. I'm a big winner. What? What's that? No, I don't want to leave. I want to keep betting. Yeah. Hey, guys, this tyrannical tin-plated droid, he just dealt me a winning hand. I think the house bots are broken, or at least they are for me.
How each player played the second hand. And also in the distance, you heard what appears to be your gruff lizard friend getting incredibly excited.
All right. Well, I've folded 2 hands in a row, so at least somebody's doing good. I guess I'll see how the next one goes for me.
And again, you're sort of getting the same feeling. You have a pretty good idea on how to play the game, how each player plays. You're just not getting the cards in your favor. The third hand goes around, and you very quickly fold out of it because you've already been counting the cards, and you know that this hand is not for you. And you watch the rest of the players again intently. The sweaty human, his face is buried in his hands, and you think that he's very, very quickly nearing his final hand, and he looks very upset about it. The Miraluka increasingly looks worried about his outcome, although isn't expressing a ton of emotion. You just feel like you have a pretty good handle for what is good and what is bad. The first hand was very good, and the last 2 have been rather troublesome for your blind friend. The Quarren is a squid, and you have no idea what to make of that. And the Sulliston, if anything, looks more confident than he did at the beginning.
I just figured I'd keep going. It takes me probably like 5 or 6 hands to really get to where I feel comfortable betting big on one.
Yeah, so basically the way it keeps going is every hand you're just not getting what you need. And a couple of them you stayed in just to make it a little less obvious whenever you decided that you were going to try to actually go all in and bet some real money. So you lose a couple of hands on purpose, more or less, and you increasingly get a feel for all of the players at the table, except the Quarren. You can't figure the Quarren out, because the Quarren is a squid, and that makes no sense to you. The Quarren just increasingly, if anything, is getting more confusing, because sometimes when you're sure that the Quarren has nothing, he wins and displays an emotion that you can't possibly comprehend. You run a few hands, and then you finally get a hand that you feel pretty confident about in earnest, and you're ready to put your money where your mouth is.
I'm going all in, baby!
Okay. Where you're at on the table is you put a very large portion of money forward with your bet. Do a bluff check for me.
That is a 27.
And you just look so nervous. The look on your face is practically begging the other players to call your bluff.
But not like too obvious. Like I'm selling it by like playing it cool.
You look almost as desperate as the sweaty man, but in the most realistic way possible. Like, you look like you're just completely out of your depth, and you never really had any business in this room in the first place. You stole someone's credit card, and you were like, I'm gonna go to the high-stakes room and win so much more money. You just look like you don't belong there, and all of the players, including the very sweaty, nervous human, are like sharks in the water. They can smell it. They just know that you have absolutely nothing in your hand.
Hey guys, take it easy on me, huh?
The Miro Luca looks at you, and he places his hand on your shoulder and says, "Oh, I would never dream of taking advantage of you," as he pushes a handful of chips into the center of the table.
I kind of start, like, chewing at my thumbnail, kind of, as, like, a nervous thing.
The only player that doesn't seem to buy into what's going on is the corn player.
Because he's a squid. And my emotions are as alien to him as his are to me.
I mean, you said it. He throws he pulls his chips in, he throws his cards down, and he gets up and he walks out of the room without any justification or notification at all. He just walks out.
Hooray!
Because he's a squid, and squids are gonna squid.
He is just... I cannot get a read on that guy. He's a squid.
You just have no idea what happened. You don't know if he's coming back.
Maybe he had to go ink.
No one at the table laughs. They're just looking at you with grave intensity. At this point, the posturing is over and the betting is time to go. The final card comes onto the table. And you're the winner! You've won your first hand, and it's quadruple the amount of money that you had when you came into the room. You've won 5,000 credits on this one hand.
And I look at a sweaty, nervous guy, and I kind of do, like, finger guns at him.
He looks very, very nervous, quickly stands up from the table, goes into the corner. He pulls something out of his pocket. He looks at it. He puts it back in his pocket and turns around and looks specifically at the Celestan, who sort of regards him with a very cool intensity. They sort of maintain that glance for several seconds. The Celestan gestures back to the table. The human sighs and takes a sit back down.
So I'm guessing the nervous guy is in debt to Card Shark guy, and he's, like, playing him for it or something? I don't know.
Do one more gather information check.
It's a 20.
Yeah. It's very obvious to you that that's what's going on, is that the nervous guy owes an absolutely insurmountable amount of money to the Celestan, and the Celestan is most likely the one who's operating this casino, which is why he's here in the first place. And he knows that the human can't possibly get out of his debt, and is probably blackmailing him into losing even more money to him.
All right. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that's what was going on. Let's see, I guess I really have no way of knowing what's going on outside, whether Hamrick's coming back or whether Viz is being drug in or what.
Yeah, at this point, it's been several minutes since Hamrick said he had to get up and leave the room. It's been about a half an hour since 38 Double D and Hamrick went into the High Rollers room to begin with. And Vizzisk, you've been happily gambling away on your own, indulging your own internal vices and inhibitions, gambling to your heart's content. You've been on a huge hot streak, winning credit after credit, and you've obtained more money than you've known since your days as a tribal chieftain's son. As you see Hamrick come sort of meandering back into the room in a very unsteady gait.
Oh my god, Perfect Pex is gonna puke.
I didn't puke. I just had to take a piss. Now I'm going to grab some sashimi, and then I'm going to head back into the room.
Prissy little boy.
Hamrick, you wander to the bar in a very crisscross pattern as you try to find your footing, and you ask for their finest sashimi. And the droid gives you a confused look and says, "What is it that you're looking for?"
I want some squid.
Squid?
Yeah, really soak up the alcohol.
I'm not sure what you mean, but I will try. The protocol droid turns around and goes to the kitchen and begins gathering up some form of food and brings it back to you on a plate. It's a bunch of very thinly sliced cylindrical slices of meat.
It's just a few credits. I'll get them back.
Hamrick, you have your tray of very thinly sliced circular meat objects. Would sir also like one more drink?
Maybe later.
You begin to walk back towards the high stakes room, and you hear a call from Vizzisk.
Where you going with the food? Bring some over here. I need a bite.
I gotta get back in this room with our good friend.
Well, where's the bag of Jawa meat?
It's still in the speeder, you damn Gila monster.
Whatever, you backwater planet hopping hillbilly. Get back to doing your job.
Oh, fuck you.
I got some making up to do.
Why don't you go lose some more fucking money?
I'm still up. I got time. We got time.
Give me a gamble check.
Just like that, Hamrick. Right back in the game. What are you doing? Nothing.
You had done a full all-in bet. You're up to 24,000 credits.
24,000. I can almost buy my own speeder for that
I'm
much.
getting back to try to keep our friend going. While you're out here playing games, what is that, more money than your whole fucking family's ever seen in their entire life?
My family doesn't even understand Republic credits. We only deal in Wookiee pelts.
What are you fucking dealing Wookiee pelts and rocks and sticks?
Yeah, exactly that. Why do you think I love money so much?
Because you don't understand it?
No, because no one from my people understands it. But I do.
So, Hamrick, you shake your head dismissively and also sort of like bat your head to get the cobwebs out. Can I get a fort save?
There it goes.
Hamrick, you sort of like shake your head and smack your temple to try to get the cobwebs of the drunkenness out. And fortunately for you, you are a seasoned alcoholic and are able to successfully do so.
Keep the jizz hands in your pocket. Remember, this is a respectable place for respectable people.
And why the hell did they let you in?
Because I'm a winner, bitch.
So, Hamrick, you go to return into the room, and the Gamorrean gives you sort of side eyes and like looks at you kind of weird.
I toss him a piece of my calamari.
He looks up excitedly and chomps it out of the air as you slip past him.
See? Friends again.
And you slip into the room just in time to see 38 Double D winning what appears to be one of several hands in a row.
Ah, winning big in here, I see. That's what I like to see.
Looks like my starship finally came in.
Nice. Stop and got myself some Mon Calamari. Might be one of that motherfucker's family. Sorry.
As you say that, you notice that the corn is no longer in the room, and you look a little bit confused.
Oh my God. Yes, I just went up more.
Let's see.
Everything
He's gone.
just
Well, I guess
keeps
maybe they served me
going
some of
up
your friend over
physics.
there.
No one in the room reacts at all to your re-entry, Hamrick, other than 38 Double D, who is very happy to see you. She was feeling pretty nervous being alone in this room filled with guards and strangers, especially on the winning streak.
Hamrick, dear, you're to be seen and not heard. Please, just come stand by me. And I kind of give you a little wink, like, just play along.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Hamrick, you go and you assume your quote-unquote guard duties beneath 38 Double D as she continues her string of 14 consecutive hands in a row that she's won at the game.
Fuck, I must have a lot of money by now.
Yeah, you're crazy rich. It's like crazy. She's won now 14 hands in a row. With each continued win, you can see the Sulistan on the opposite side of the room start to slowly lose his cool demeanor and assume one of more an aggressive stance. Before finally, he looks over at the very sweaty man, gestures something to him, and says, so he says something to the human man in a language you don't speak, to which the human man responds, No! No, not that. No, that's not fair. I was winning. I was coming back. I can repay you. And 2 Gamorreans come in from outside the room, grab him underneath the arms, and drag him out of the room screaming. Vizzisk, you see and hear a loud commotion behind you. You turn around and 2 Gamorreans go barging into the room where 38 Double D was. You hear a little bit of clamoring around before finally seeing the 2 Gamorreans pulling a human male who you're not familiar with out of the room that she's in. And he's screaming and freaking out and making a commotion.
What's this then?
Okay, so as that guy gets dragged out of the room, you are greeted by a protocol droid. She says, Mr. Trandoshan, you have experienced unprecedented success in our casino.
Yeah, of course.
Mr. Snoob requests your presence in the High Rollers room.
Well, tell Snooty Snoob he's gonna have to come out here to me. I'm on a winning streak.
But he sent me personally to request your presence. You are very desirable company.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. Lead the way, you bucket of bolts.
38 Double D, you see the man get dragged out of the room, screaming and kicking. As this happens, the Celestan looks directly in your eyes, and a very wry smile sort of brims across his face. And he says to you in Galactic Basic, Trush in, trush out.
Oh, don't worry. I've only started cleaning up.
38 Double D, you utter your witty retort, and almost as soon as it gets done leaving your lips, you see the Gamorreans open the door, and light sort of blocks your vision for a second, and you see a very tall, lizard-shaped silhouette enter your view, and you hear...
Hello, Jizz Hands. Rusty Trombone.
Well, what took you so long?
Clearly I needed to make myself desirable for these people.
I now present our newest high roller, Vizzisk.
Here, you can have the rest of this plate.
Thanks, I'm starving.
As Hamrick hands over his plate of unfinished food to Vizzisk as he quickly wolfs it down. And that, my friends, I think is a perfect place to end this episode. But, as always, thanks for tuning in. If you feel so inclined, please stop by our iTunes and leave us a rate and review if you like what we do. You can always find more about LootQuest at lootquest.podbean.com or podfixnetwork.com. We're also now on Patreon, and you can check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/LootQuest. And make sure you stop and check out my awesome player character shows here. You can find all of their shows and information about them at podfixnetwork.com. So until next week, I am Shampoo, and this has been LootQuest.
Welcome to this jumping joint. They got aliens having happy hour. Hive of scum and villainy where the cultures can all feel empowered. That's more precisely for you, though. It's inclusive, full of joy. All are welcome if you ain't a droid. Listen, man, baby bat, check out all these patrons. Yeah, this sloth, Cosmonaut, literally Satan. If you got nuts and bolts, ain't your situation. Targeted casual racism to nobody but the droids. Each cantina customer has a criminal record or a weapon. Solo freaking shot a dude in some Jedi porn amputation. No one seems to give a damn, they just shrug and keep on drinking. Yet they deny entrance for the droids. Clankaran, Goldenrod, those are racial slurs. Sold to slaves, torture case, no one has it worse. Yet it's all understood in the universe that it is super okay to be racist only to the droids. The plow fields, the pilot ships, they're fluent in most languages. The sentient, compassionate, intelligent, high-tech, plus every single character in every single movie would be there without Olar too. So what you can take away from this swinging and jaunty little lecture is that you should not be cruel to a being that has pain receptors. Droids have feelings through and through, at least that's true here in Star Wars, where this music style is called jizz. Jizz. It's called jizz. It's a real thing.